today we're going to start chapter 6, class. The first lesson we're going to review ratios and fractions and specifically talk about what are called unit rates. Okay? Stop talking. Listen up. Ratios are different than fractions because ratios compare two different things. Whereas a fraction compares an amount out of the total, or the number of parts out of the whole. So, when you see miles per gallon, for example, those are two different things. Miles, distance, and gallons, an amount. Or, if you look at something at the grocery store, if you look at the tag, you'll see the amount, or the price per ounce. It's called the unit price for something. Okay? Or the rate at which something is traveling, feet per minute, or meters per second, or feet per second if you're talking about velocity of a bullet, for example. Stop talking. Quiet, please. Yeah, I know, that's why I looked at him and... Yeah. All right, listen. The rate is the amount used to compare used compared to another amount. Alright? The rate is how many per one other thing. So, the number of words per minute, the number of miles per hour. The rate that something is happening is the amount that is happening per unit of time. Then, a unit rate is the amount for every one of the other amount. In other words, if you've traveled 105 miles on 7 gallons of fuel, then your rate is 15 miles per gallon. Okay? Now, the way that you find it is to divide the two amounts. If you want to know the number of miles per gallon, then you'd set that up so that the miles are on the top and the gallons are on the bottom of the ratio, and then divide them. Okay? Look at your worksheet for today. On the first side, it gives you several amounts. And you're going to just practice finding the unit rate. So in the first one, not yet. In the first one, it's dollars per hour. So in number 1, I think it's $91.
In 14 hours.
$91 in 14 hours. Now, if you're going to divide the given amounts to find some information, should you divide 14 hours? Are you trying to find hours per dollar? Or would it make sense to find dollars per hour? Which one would make more sense? Really? Dollars per hour, right. So the dollars, you're going to divide by the number of hours. 91 divided by 14. Rather than 14 divided by 91. That gives you different information, doesn't it? Okay? Now let's talk a little bit more about ratios. We said that ratios compare one amount to the other amount, and they're different subjects. So you might have a ratio of miles per gallon or dollars to hours. If you were going to write this as a ratio, in this case you would write $91 and then this colon 14 hours, and then reduce it if you can. This is a ratio of dollars to hours. Okay? Ratios can also be written as fractions. $91 to 14 hours. So these are written as ratios. Okay? This makes it a ratio. Yep. These are examples of ratios. Okay? Go to the other side. They give us a chart, a number 5. They give you a chart of boys and girls in 7th and 8th grade. Now, when you're writing ratios, the first amount that you write is the subject of what you're trying to figure out. Okay? So when it says the ratio of 7th grade boys to 8th grade boys, which one is listed first in number 5? 7th grade boys. So that's the one that you write first. How many 7th grade boys are there in this on this chart? 26 to, and how many 8th grade boys are there listed?
30.
To 30. Right.
Is that all you have to do for labeling?
Then reduce it. How can you reduce this? Divide both by 2. So that's 13 to 15. Okay. All right. Concentrate. Asa. Concentrate here. Any questions on reducing or writing ratios first and then reducing them? Now, oh, Ava, you were going to ask something?
Is that all you have to do though? Like that's the answer?
That's the answer, yeah. So the ratio is 13 to 15 when you're talking about 7th grade boys to 8th grade boys. All right?
So all of
The one that's listed first is the one that you write first. What's the ratio of, in number 6, 7th grade girls to 7th grade boys? How many 7th grade girls are there? How many are listed? Gray? 34. Then the colon. 26 boys. And then reduce it. Yep. 17 to 13. You don't have to label it, no? Any questions on writing ratios? Or on finding unit rates? When you're finding a unit rate, you divide. Divide the two amounts. What is the answer to 91 divided by 14? The unit rate for that first one. 6.5. So you write 6.5 and then you have to write it with a label. Which label did we need? 6.5. What? Adam? Which one did we find? Hours per dollar or dollars per hour? Dollars per hour. Yep. This one. So make sure that you label it whenever you're finding a unit rate. Make sure you label it. Yeah, that's fine. Yep. All right, finish this worksheet for tomorrow.